Unscripted.
What a great time to be a fan of gaming, am I right? I mean, Sony has come out and said a lot of things over the last couple of days. We're leading up till 2 weeks to launch of the PlayStation 5. It's an exciting, fun time, and I do think that a lot of people are going to get a kick out of some of the things that were kind of announced. And again, this is stuff that realistically maybe should have been announced a little bit earlier, but better late than never, in my opinion. And it really just goes to show that Sony is really on top of everything. And you know, at the end of the day, I feel like that's super important. You know, Sony has a keen eye for what fans want, and I think that that's something that realistically will showcase exactly what fans have been expecting and asking for PlayStation since the very beginning. I mean, let's be honest, PlayStation is the de facto gaming company, and I don't mean to say that to tick off Nintendo fans or Xbox fans. I just mean to say that as they're really the most consistent. You know, like, I like Nintendo and I like Xbox, but let's just be real. Xbox completely dropped the ball this generation. You know, their whole idea of, you know, putting games everywhere isn't exactly status quo for what we're used to or what people actually want. Like, I've never heard Xbox fans say that they want to play their Xbox games on a smart fridge or on a phone or, you know, other places, these places where, or on a PlayStation for that instance, you know, or a Switch. So it is weird to see Microsoft just kind of take that beating and retreat so far back that they have to release everything on everything just to kind of scratch some kind of living out of the Xbox brand. But, you know, I digress. You know, PlayStation seems to do things a little bit more traditionally, and I have to say I really enjoy that aspect of what they're doing. And with that being said, there was multiple things that came out today, and I can't wait to talk about it because I think a lot of people are going to be very, very excited about this, and I'm looking forward to covering it. So, I really want to get started. Let's get it going. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. If you're looking for a way to help out my small fledgling channel, a simple like goes a long way. It's free for you, but means everything to me. Thank you to everybody that supports me. Rack them up, all that kind of good stuff. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, everybody in between. You're amazing people. So, with that being said, let's jump right into what I want to talk about. So, Sony now has patented something for the PlayStation 5 that would basically match what Microsoft is trying to do with Auto HDR. And this would be very helpful on some of the older titles and stuff like that, maybe that didn't feature HDR. It looks like they're getting a form of Xbox's Auto HDR feature for standard SDR to HDR image conversion technology. It also previously suggested Sony could be working on PS Now revamp to bring backwards compatibility for PS1, PS2, and PS3 games. Now, this would be strictly streaming, I believe, so I'm going to read this out. So, Sony seems to be cooking up a new feature for the upcoming PlayStation 5. A patent listing leaked yesterday showing Sony's filing for converting an image from standard def to high HDR. This has sparked discussion that Sony could be working on something to rival Xbox's Auto HDR for PlayStation 5. The patent listing appeared a few hours ago, sending fans into speculation over what the technology could be for, especially with regards to the PlayStation 5 itself. Now, the patent details a display controller and an image display method. It also has mentions of brightness, consistency, and gamma values. The tech aims to convert images into a color space having characteristics suitable for display, and there are reference diagrams that I will link in there that you can check out and let me know what you think. Now, of course, the patent by itself doesn't really suggest 100% that Sony is developing a direct rival to Xbox's Auto HDR. Xbox's tech works by using a machine learning algorithm to add HDR to older games. This patent could establish the foundation for full-fledged Auto HDR competitor with the PS5, however. To begin with, it could greatly help the test scaling issues that PlayStation users have had for a while. User complaints of text appearing blurred when made small have been plenty with the PlayStation 5 entering the 4K arena now. The issue needs to be fixed more than ever. The SDR to HDR patent, and there is some interesting things. An older leak had detailed that PlayStation is working with a PS Now revamp, which would use similar tech upgrades, older titles from PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. And the leak had suggested that Sony was trying to get its backwards compatibility up to speed with PlayStation Now. And of course, since this is all just rumor, and even though this is an official patent that Sony has filed, please take it with a grain of salt. We can expect, obviously, Sony probably has a lot of things cooking for the PlayStation 5. They haven't taken the same approach with backwards compatibility as Microsoft because they have games that are actually coming out in the future, and I feel like that's something that's a stark contrast to what Microsoft is doing. So even though they're going to be doing something like this, and it looks like they are, it's not something that's on the front page because, again, it's old news. It's old games, and they're more focused on the new stuff, but it is nice to have this as sort of a checklist feature. So take it all with a grain of salt until we get 100% confirmation, but obviously expect Sony to come up with something to be competitive with Microsoft in this arena, and this is actually makes perfect sense for what they're trying to accomplish. So with that being said, there was also some other bit of news that I wanted to talk about as well. Sony with the PlayStation 5, we hadn't had confirmation that 1440p resolution support would be supported with it, but now it looks like it is. So quite a few gamers had been asking about the PlayStation 5 and 1440p resolution support. After all, Microsoft already enabled this with the Xbox One S and Xbox One X a few years ago, and Sony was falling behind. But Sony hasn't provided any official comment on the matter. This left PlayStation fans quite upset about the possibilities that next-generation consoles would allow users to select a Quad HD 1440p resolution. However, an article posted on the official BenQ website suggests PS5 1440p resolution might be in after all, and here's the blurb that is in question. So if you guys didn't know why 1440p resolution would be important to support, it would be important to support because if you have a 4K TV and you choose, and there could be options for games to be 1440p at 60 frames or 4K at 30, and you might want the option to do 1440p. Well, some TVs, or if the console doesn't support 1440p, you wouldn't have that option. You'd either be stuck at 1080p, which I always feel like is a huge downgrade. 1080p 60 frames just isn't for me. Like, I feel like games really take a hit graphically, so this would be big news then. And this is what it says: while there's lots of talk of 120 Hz with regards to the new consoles and late 2020 graphics cards, let's be realistic. Most of it doesn't apply to 4K, but more to 1080p or 1440p. It'll be another generation before 120 frames per second in 4K are normative for the majority of games. We expect the PS5 and by extension most PC titles to deliver firm 4K 60 Hz for the next few years. If you're interested in high frame rates, you may want to consider a good QHD gaming monitor, as 1440p will be supported by the PlayStation 5 with a higher likelihood of 120 Hz in that resolution. Again, we have games that are confirmed to be 120 Hz, and those are coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X as well. But being relatively minor technical detail, that would only affect a small portion of the player base. However, Sony could not be that interested in making big fanfare of it because there's virtually no TV featuring native 1440p resolution. It largely remains a display solution for PC monitors. That said, there are indeed some console gamers who use monitors to play with, so of course they recommend their own in the article and stuff like that, which will be linked, so you guys can peruse that at your own particular leisure and let me know what you think. But I do think that they actually did a good job. But like I said, if you have a regular TV like on mine, I'm using the new CX OLED. I can set my Xbox One X right now to 1440p, 120 frame support and things like that. Now next generation I'll be able to do like Xbox Series X or PS5 to 4K 120 Hz on it with an HDMI 2.1 cable, which thankfully that's included with the PlayStation 5 console itself, which we got confirmed today. And since everybody's getting their hands on PlayStation 5 consoles right now, it's really good to see that sort of come about, and everybody's sort of talking about, you know, the stuff that comes in the box. It's not just a standard HDMI cable, it's HDMI 2.1, so it is going to support those of us that do have the new TVs. I'm seeing a lot of people out there with the new CX OLEDs and stuff like that, which is cool because you know, I went all in with this as well, and you know, again, this is going to be something that is very exciting for a lot of people. And for me personally, you know, I just feel like this is the perfect time for Sony to be dropping a lot of this information, because, you know, we're getting so close to the launch of these consoles, and it does look like Microsoft might have some sort of event plan for the day before their console goes on sale officially. So, you know, Sony hyping things up, and the last few days have been heavily Sony related because, you know, a lot of people were going out with a lot of stories that PlayStation wouldn't be able to do, you know, 4K 60, and now a bunch of games have come out that kind of confirmed that they are going to be 4K 60 on PS5, and then you had a lot of people that supposed quote-unquote tech experts and YouTubers claiming that the Series S might run better and do things better than the PS5, and now we're finding out that Series S on certain games isn't even getting ray tracing at all, and worse frame rates and all this kind of stuff, when people were hyping up that it has a better CPU and all this kind of stuff. So it is nice to see all that kind of work itself out, and at the same time, I just find it to be pretty hilarious, and just nice to see everybody sort of kind of getting past that kind of stuff. Again, it's perfectly okay to be excited about next generation. It's just weeks away, days away, as it were. And me personally, I know maybe some of you have seen the meme, mentally I'm here. Mentally I'm with the PlayStation 5. I just got to be honest. I can't wait. It's that small bit of excitement for 2020, because honestly there hasn't been much to be excited about. But with that, I feel like I am firmly excited, and I can't wait to actually boot that thing up and start playing it and just having a good time with it. But with that being said, I really do appreciate anybody that came and took the time out to watch this video. Please take a minute more to consider subscribing, or at the very least hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. I want you all to please stay safe, happy, and healthy. Take care of each other. I honestly mean that, and I do hope that you guys, if you want to get in touch with me on PSN or whatever, I always respond. Just let me know. And take care of each other. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Have a fantastic day. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.